It was a standoff over shellfish. The State DEP has ordered an environmental group to remove its oyster beds from Raritan Bay, saying the shellfish are a threat to public health. As Ed Rogers tells us in tonight's Environment Report, the New York-New Jersey Baykeeper says the DEP isn't addressing problems with a program that patrols and monitors shellfish beds.
The New York-New Jersey Baykeeper says the State DEP issued the group permits to build an experimental oyster reef in Keansburg Harbor 8 months ago. But the state's new Environmental Protection Commissioner wants the reefs removed, fearing poachers might try to sell the oysters, which have been growing in contaminated waters.
Once the shellfish, if the contaminated shellfish were to get in the food supply, it's out in the public. People are then concerned about shellfish openly, and we believe that we need to protect that $790 million industry in this state.
The Baykeeper says the project has environmental benefits. The oysters are natural filters, improving the water quality, and that growing reef structures are good for fish. It's not only restoration of the bay, but environmentalists say important scientific research will be lost.
It also provides really great information about the estuary's health and how to improve the estuary. So, you know, that's what we're going to lose here is it's a huge body of science work as well.
The Baykeeper and others are angry over the way the DEP has handled this case. In a written statement, Mann called the action vicious because it was the first time the DEP took action like this against an environmental group, and that she has been having discussions with the agency to try and resolve the matter. Mann says the real issue is a recent U.S. Food and Drug Administration report which found that the DEP did not have enough personnel to patrol waters where taking shellfish is banned.
What's really happening here is that because of the DEP underfunding the shellfish patrol and inspection program for a few years, that is what is placing the shellfish industry at risk. It's not our small research project.
Commissioner Martin says the department is not sending mixed messages to the environmentalists and that steps have been taken to meet the FDA requirements.
By using state police boats and making sure we've got officers, we've added on a couple additional officers, and we have additional overtime for our conservation officers to protect that. So we believe we're doing all we can, and we believe we've met FDA's requirements for this year.
Meanwhile, the Baykeeper organization says it will comply with the state's order and is asking for permission to move the 50,000 oysters to an alternative site.
We've had a permit pending with the DEP since May for a new reef site in the Shrewsbury River. It was some of the best water quality we have in the area, and it was actually a site that DEP directed us to this past fall.
We're willing to talk to them about this, and we've talked to them pretty consistently. This is the kind of research that we support at the DEP, but we just can't have it in contaminated waters.
The issue should be resolved in the next month. Ed Rogers, NJN News.